this point, I'm thoroughly convinced that dating shows, their sole purpose is to humiliate amazing women. Just like so much of the content I've been making lately about the purpose of so many movies and TV shows in general is to convince women to settle, to knock us down a peg, to put up with endless BS from men who don't deserve us. But the fact that you have these two women, men who do not appreciate them, even though those men do not deserve them, and these two women were rejected because of their looks. Like, these are my favorite. And these two are amazing role models for women. They made some mistakes. They learned from those mistakes and they took some hard lessons, made them date wiser. And both of these women respected themselves the way that all of us should be respecting ourselves. They both walked away from men who treated them like crap and made them feel bad about themselves. I mean, this man who seems to have almost no emotional intelligence is a firefighter. So he thinks he's a hero. You know, we've been told that firemen are usually more emotionally intelligent than the average man because, you know, they're the ones who show up and comfort people, you know, all that stuff. I'm not buying it. This guy had a whole year or longer to think about what went wrong in that relationship, or even think about what he was going to say when he eventually had to face the woman that he insulted by trying to control her looks and tell her, okay, I gotta do a whole nother video on this man. Click the comment if you want to see my 2 other videos I've done of this dude. I'm look at that smirk. The dude still doesn't seem to understand what he did wrong. And it doesn't help that you've got this idiot who has a terrible track record for dating. And I mean, their relationship, I don't know why they are relationship goals to begin with. He was even like, I think what you meant to say was that, she looks better with makeup and, whatever. And he's like, yeah. Like, no, dude, that's not what he was saying. He doesn't find her attractive. Her. Asked him flat out if he could imagine sleeping with her the rest of his life. He's like, I don't know. I mean, honestly, Taylor, both Taylor and Aaliyah, he did not deserve this response. Like, I know she's trying to take the high road. She said, whatever, I hope you learn your lesson, blah, blah, blah. I'm happy for you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, thank you. If I had to choose in terms of which role model for women dating men should follow, I actually prefer Aaliyah. She did not sugarcoat what a jerk this man was. Honestly, it's so funny because the fireman guy with the American flag stuff, he thinks he's a hero. He thinks he's like a big tough man, has zero emotional intelligence, and is also very shallow. And seems like he might be a little controlling because, any man who's trying to police a woman's looks, whether it's her makeup, her hair, her clothes, that is an insecure man, and that's a big red flag. This is another insecure man, the lawyer. The way this man, I know that first I was like, well, maybe this is just him being a lawyer, lawyer, a winning argument. The way he talked to Aaliyah, and in fact, apparently the way he talked to everybody, as Milton said, was not really respecting of people's boundaries. But he seemed so hateful towards Aaliyah. Remember, this is the guy who asked her a question, an intimate question, and she was vulnerable with him. She admitted that she had cheated on a partner in the past. And then he punished her for telling the truth, judged her, made her feel like he didn't trust her because she's going to cheat on him. Made her cry. I mean, and he was just, the argument, and he just kept going after her. And then it was like, but I appreciate you telling me. And the whole time, because as I said in another video, anytime a man is really upset about something or a little rattled, it's usually because he's projecting. This is the liar. You know what I mean? He's the one who's got some serious stuff going on with Lydia. By the way, Lydia, I don't even know where to start with Lydia. She won Love is Blind somehow. How she won that's another video. But anyway, this man is so disrespectful towards women. And Milton, out of all these men, Milton seems to be the one who has the most integrity. But still, he literally wants Lydia to be his mom. I'm sorry, I can't forgive a man who refuses to clean up after himself. But Milton stood up to this guy. But Aaliyah did not let this man off the hook. She gave him so much grace. And then after, I love that after she found out this information and then was betrayed by Lydia, who I think she's more heartbroken over what over Lydia's betrayal as her best friend than this guy. I think she cared a lot more for Lydia than this guy because, you know, we always know that men can end up being someone that they're not. But we really trust women on a different level. And what Lydia did was so wrong. And after feeling betrayed by her best friend and then being yelled at by this man and betrayed by this man who was literally lying through omission but accused her of being like a liar and a cheater, blah, she just left the show. And I love that for her. I love that. She did go back and meet up with him, which is what this scene is from. And he was a jerk again. And then we found out she dated him kind of a little bit, realized he's a jerk. You know, a lot of us have to learn lessons a few times the hard way before we're like, okay. I mean, I had to almost get, you know, murdered to understand how dangerous men are and how our decisions when dating can be life and death, which is one reason why I make so much content like this. She called him condescending. She said that she didn't believe she should have to be chasing after any man. Listen to that, y'all. We should never be chasing after men. We're already set up to be exploited by them in every possible way. If we are chasing after them, they are going to ruin our lives. It is so hard to find a man who sees you as a human being and loves you for who you are, not what you do for him. So if you're chasing after a man, not only does he not respect you, his entitlement is literally going to ruin your life. You will be a married single mom, and he's going to cheat on you. If he ever marries you to begin with, a lot of them just drag you along for 9 years. I love when Aaliyah was saying that she's dating someone now, he's consistent, they met organically. And I love it when she's like, I know my worth as a woman. I know I'm beautiful. I love this. I am proud of who I am and how I carry myself. This was Lydia's face while she said that. And, you know, as much as like, I love Milton because he's a dork. And I love that he stands up for his wife and all that stuff. But I do not appreciate the way he tried to gaslight Aaliyah being like, yeah, but you know, my wife, I know her character. And like, I really think that, you know, like his whole, I mean, I can do a video on that. I don't have time to cover all of this. It's just so much. But I do not appreciate the way he was gaslighting Aaliyah. It doesn't mean that I don't think he was right about some of the things he said, but like, it was a little condescending to me. You're defending your wife a little too much. She really screwed over Aaliyah. She broke her heart. And just because maybe Lydia is not as crazy as some of us thought, because we were like, wait, did she like somehow get on this show to get back with her ex? Anyway, like Lydia's been a mess this whole season, but I am not buying their whole story. I believe Aaliyah 100%. Aaliyah and Taylor, y'all are the only ones that literally any of us should be taking notes from, because the men on this show suck. Most of the women are still very male-centered. Stacey? I gotta do a whole video about her. But she's no victim here. But one thing she did right was center her intuition and actually saw the red flags with Izzy and was like, Instead of trying to marrying him to make him happy, she centered her own self-interest, her financial security. But God, Stacey is an example of what happens when you try to be a cool girl. It does not end up well, babe. And also, you're kind of mean. Johnny's also, God, those two are a mess. But these two, they both set an example of knowing your worth, not settling for men who are terrible, and walking away with your self-respect and integrity intact. But seriously, y'all, I wrote about this 2 seasons ago, about how this show, the lesson we get every season is that women need to center themselves, because all the men that they choose to be like bachelors on this show are not worthy of these women. I'm not saying the women aren't perfect. I'm not saying the women don't have a lot to work on. And I also use examples of how women can grow from watching the mistakes these women made in real time. Also, I know this is reality TV. The producers are master manipulators, and all of this could be a lie. But other than Tiffany and Brett last season, every single couple since season 1 has been a mess. None of these men deserve these women. They're all king babies. Half of them are narcissists. And I do not use that word lightly. Half of these men legitimately scare me. I've done several videos on this guy. Besides being a liar, a hobosexual who's going to leech off of women, he also causes drama. Causes drama between women, triangulation. and then completely checks out. Even this guy's a villain now. Like, it's insulting.